Attention, bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn, so please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, Yodelers! We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. Today, I am your host, Jackie, and we have...
Chiefus.
And...
I'm Peter.
And Peter!
I'm here.
Oh, so you got some disgruntled...
Yeah, yeah. I've got some opinions that I need to share, not anyone else.
And
I guess Bob Chapek probably has some.
Ooh, that would be so... that would be fun to hear his true opinions of Disney.
He part of that $20 million was a gag order,
Right?
Yeah.
when NDA was definitely signed. Like, you are not to talk anything about this time
For like 2 years or whatever.
Oh, I'd say it's like 20 years.
Oh, it's probably a lot longer.
I'm waiting for that book. That'll be a good book.
It's really just gonna be a VH1 behind the
Right.
executives.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about controversial opinions. And
There's no controversy here.
zero.
We're not gonna rock the boat.
We don't rock the boat here. We don't have any opinions that might make some Disney fans irate.
Can I start?
You wanna...
This is like a softball one.
Yeah.
It's for our family too. Mickey bars are gross. I don't like them.
Yeah, that's a popular one, that the Mickey premium bars aren't that great. I kind of agree. They're not that great tasting wise. It's like a semi-sweet over like vanilla ice cream, and usually when you get it, it's rock hard.
It's rock hard, and the vanilla doesn't even taste like vanilla. There's
No.
nothingness there.
It's true.
You do it for the pictures.
Ice cream sandwiches are good though. I do like their ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
When they're not completely
When they're not
frozen, when you
rocks,
bite
yeah.
into it, and you're like, well, I got a little bit of cookie
Yeah.
jammed in between the back of my teeth.
Right.
I like it's like the fruit bars that have like, it's a picture of Olaf on them now, but they're actually pretty good.
It's really hard to screw up a natural flavors of fruit
Right.
and a fruit bar.
Right. My other Mickey food one is I think the Mickey pretzels are gross.
Oh, yeah, they're really not that good.
They're stale. They're
They're dry.
Yeah.
They're overcooked,
Very
and the only
much.
thing that redeems it is the nacho cheese.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of nacho cheese.
I
So.
love nacho cheese. That's why it's like it doesn't bother me too much, but I totally agree. It's dry.
Usually if I get a pretzel, it's like grab a pretzel, get in a long line
Like
kind of scenario.
I have a better enjoyment eating the pretzels that I make at home through my microwave than I do in the Disney parks.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Shots fired on that one
Yep.
right
Yeah.
there.
And I don't have to wait in a line of like 30 people in Frontierland to get one.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah. Another controversial opinion that I got online was Disney popcorn is not good.
No,
I
don't-
like their popcorn.
I think I
actually.
like movie popcorn better. I thought about that today.
Yeah, you like movie popcorn better than Disneyland?
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
I would
plus
disagree. I like
something in
Disneyland.
Disney popcorn does not agree with me, so I never get it.
It's interesting.
She
I enjoy it.
sneezes a lot when she eats it.
Yeah, I just sneeze a lot.
Some of their flavored popcorn's really good though. They're like not just regular popcorn, they're flavored ones like they have at Galaxy's Edge. Some of that's pretty good.
So what, like, to not be controversial, so when we go to a vendor, what is good? Like, I like the chimichangas. I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts with those?
I'm
Wait,
not a
like
fan
which
of-
vendor spots are
Yeah,
good?
like little vending spots at the
Okay,
park.
the best one is the breakfast shawarma in Avenger Campus.
Oh,
I still have
never
yet to
that.
have that.
It is the best thing. So the last trip we went to, Mark and I went to Disneyland, and we were just gonna, and this is like they had the park reservation. You had to choose, and we were just gonna do. We're gonna do 2 days, park hop, And we're gonna just start both days at Disneyland because you like morning at Disneyland a lot more than
It
California.
just starts off the day better.
But we decided to change one of the days to start off in California just so we can have this breakfast shawarma.
I heard the breakfast Ronto wrap is also very good.
Yeah.
And it's only available in the mornings, so.
Are we all in consensus that churros are good, like at Disneyland?
Churros are good at Disneyland.
Churros, yeah.
It's not Mexican Pavilion.
My wife does not like churros.
Oh,
So like
that's a preference thing.
right. I think there was like one churro that she actually did.
Does she just
enjoy.
not like churros in general?
She just doesn't get it.
She's like, okay, whatever.
But she did like that we had this peanut butter one. This chocolate peanut butter one. She's like, "Oh, that was really good." So, but that was a seasonal item.
Yeah. I mean, they're different flavor churros are fun. Like, my favorite one I ever had was, like, the Dole Whip churro. That was pretty good because it had, like, a pineapple, like,
That's fun.
jelly filling. It was good.
Yeah, my least
So
favorite.
essentially, it turns into like a Mexican donut. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Like, just-
basically.
I didn't much care for the s'more churro or the sour churro. That one wasn't that great.
Was it bitter? Was it a little sour?
It was a little sour. It was way too sour.
Did it come with, like, a cherry sauce or something?
Yeah, it came with some.
Yeah,
frosting.
I've heard, like,
I mean,
yeah, it
the
wasn't
frosting
that
was
good.
okay, but like, I just felt like it was just way too sour for me. And I love sour candy. I
Okay.
was forcing myself to finish that one.
Okay, so let's see here. Do we want to do movie or park?
Let's stay in the parks. I got
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
Test Track is overrated.
totally.
It's a car ride. It's a convertible, and you go 65 miles an hour. I guarantee you, your dad drove faster to get to the park that day.
Well,
You just need to stick your head out the window. The only thing that makes it a ride.
In Orlando, can you go 65 in Orlando? I don't know. The
traffic is so bad.
I live there. I went 65. It's just that, well, I got a speeding ticket going 77. I was going 81 down the main drag where it says "Welcome to Disney World."
Oh right.
The only thing that makes it like awesome is you have that bank and you're going 65 miles an hour. So you
Right.
have this like, whoa, we're going so fast.
We're tilting.
It's so the ride. There's no story. It's just a lame. I think it's a lame ride, and I think it's like it's just overrated.
Yeah, but it's like it's an e-ticket attraction at Epcot, so
is.
there's nothing. Well, there's Guardian of the Galaxy now, there, but
Yes, which is fantastic.
right. But no, I agree. Test Track. When Mark and I went to Epcot, we just did single rider because we're just like it's not worth. I think the line was only like 30 minutes long. We're like, nah, it's not even worth that.
It's not even worth sitting next to you and seeing that dumb picture.
Of my hair all crazy and yeah, no.
And it may be because they were our rival attraction. Like they thought they were better than us when I worked at Mission Space.
Right.
And Mission Space is like, why do you think you're better? Like, well, our ride's more complicated. And I'm all like, I don't know, ours is pretty technical, but they're little snobs about it. They're CPs and like there was this like unspoken like
There was-
rivalry.
There's
Yeah.
always like that like snobbish thing of like between cast members and roles.
It was for Tower. It was great movie ride.
Really, the great movie ride.
Oh yeah,
Because we got a spiel and we get to shoot little cap guns and
yeah.
be in our little
Oh
role.
man, the cast members that did the great movie ride, they had great pride in their attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I mean, Tower of Terror's, I mean, easily considered the best attraction in the park at that time, '06. Not, I wouldn't say that's true anymore, but yeah, I mean, I could see it's just a great movie ride. Just the cast members being like, "Our attraction's cool too, even though it's always a walk on."
Yeah, I don't think I
It
waited
was so
longer than
funny
5 minutes
because-
on that ride.
Someone mentioned their controversial opinion was that Great Movie Ride is better than Mickey Runaway Railway. And I was like,
That's like saying like, oh, bring back Horizons. Like when you're
Yeah.
comparing the old ride with the new ride, I don't really think that's controversial in the sense of just it's a preferential like this is
Right.
I was just like, Mickey Runaway Railway has a line. Great movie ride did not always have a long line.
No. Mm-mm.
And we'll see what it's like in 10 years.
Right.
What that line is. Just because it's new,
Right.
it has a queue. Remember, like, Roger Rabbit always had a queue of, like, 60 minutes.
Right.
And it was just, like, the worst line ever.
Well, that's what Monsters Inc. looks like. Oh, I looked at the wait times the other day for Monsters Inc. and
Oh,
it was
it's awful.
It was 150 minutes for Monsters.
I
Inc.
think so. I
Who
think
would wait in that?
I think Monsters Inc.
That's for the next
Is the
podcast,
worst.
the torture.
I think Monsters Inc. is the worst attraction at California Adventure.
There's gotta be.
It's definitely one of the worst ones to wait for.
It's you're in like a government queue. It's just
It's like you're stuck at the DMV. That's what it feels like.
yeah. It's just you don't have the colorful people that you would get at a DMV. Yeah, I can't think of. I just don't. I don't know. There's other rides that I don't. But that one it's one of the worst.
Oh, this is a big one. Disneyland is better than Walt Disney World.
Well, it's
I have
true.
to agree.
It's true.
What is better?
Disneyland is
It
better than
is.
Disney World.
It's got the touch of Walt
I
there.
think
I watched these group of panelists. They tried to break it down in categories and then overall, and they're like, well, it clearly shows that Disney World is better because they're better in all these categories, and it's all like, no.
Yeah, but there's the feel.
Yeah.
Like you can't quantify the feeling of when you're at Disneyland,
Right.
and you're like, oh, this feels good. Like this feels right. You're at Magic Kingdom, and you're like,
Well, the thing
it's
is, they
different.
were giving so many points to Disney World because they have the resorts and the hotels and their food, whereas
But that's
Disneyland
not
only
the
has
park. That's
three.
not in the
And
park.
I agree. I think the parks are better at Disneyland.
There's more attractions in one park. You can walk to California Adventure.
It's not a 2-hour adventure to park.
And the
hop.
parking is miserable. You don't get on the boat
You don't have
of
to
like
boat or monorail to get to the park.
And right now, Disneyland's got trams and Disney World doesn't. For Animal Kingdom.
Two of their parks don't. I think Epcot and
Animal Kingdom
don't have trams.
Yeah. Which I feel like Animal Kingdom parking lot is like one of the worst
It is
ones.
the horrible parking lot. It's so big.
It's big.
And you always get stuck parking in the boonies, and it's like, ugh.
I would always. Well, I work there. I would go park in the employee parking. I would just flash my badge, like, all right, over here. And
Right.
that was things you mentioned. I was like, I didn't experience that.
Yeah. You have the cast member. You have the blue badge.
The blue badge. It was nice.
All right. Japheth won't be able to have an opinion on this one, but
Star Wars.
Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is only good like the first few times. I have to agree, yes.
This is my opinion. Rise of the Resistance is not that attraction that you will want to re-ride on the same trip.
Ooh.
It is a ride where like you ride it once
And you're
per
good.
trip, and that's good enough.
So even like for me, I've never been on it. Riding it twice would be.
You would probably be fine riding it twice because it's your first time.
But after that,
Because like I was feeling it, because like there was one day, this was back when they had boarding groups and things like that, and you're only supposed to ride once. I rode it like 4 times in one day, and I was like, and we could have gone 5 times, but we decided, we're good. We don't need to ride it again. Because the thing is,
it's a story, like
it's story driven.
Story driven, and so once you know the story, you're just like, okay.
is it like riding Star Tours where you ride it once, like the original Star Tours, and you're like, well, okay, once is good,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
and then you don't want to ride, like you could ride it again, but you're like, hey guys, thanks, it's my first ride. Oh, thanks for. And you're like, no, it's not. I rode it with you earlier today.
And it's the same thing with like Indiana Jones. You know, where like you ride it once and you're like, okay, that was fun.
No, because
I
there's
feel
different.
like it's
there's
different.
different lighted like rooms. There's the yellow room, and there's the blue room, and the purple room. I rode it like 13 times in
I
one
feel
trip,
like-
and I never got tired of it, and I still don't get tired of it. But I'm ride or die, Indy.
I feel like Indiana Jones is more of a thrill ride compared to Rise of the Resistance.
I think the thing that takes away from Rise of the Resistance is because it's so big.
Yes.
Because, like, when you commit to Rise of the Resistance, the ride alone is you're committing at least 30 minutes of your day just for the ride itself, let
Wow.
alone the queue.
So the ride experience is 30 minutes?
It's like
I don't know.
well,
about that.
if you include from point of Ray onward, that's about 30 minutes.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
huge. I thought, like, I'd get bored on Pirates from, like, oh my gosh, it's like 11 minutes.
No,
it's-
it's long from like the point of Ray where Ray talks
When you get the
you.
pre-show.
Yeah, because you have to wait to get into. It's just like another line you have to get into.
Right.
But then the cast members have fun with you.
Right.
So
It's
that
a
makes
part
that more
of the-
fun and more unique
Right.
each time you ride it. But other than that, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Um,
So I think the reason why it's like kind of a one and done, it's because it's such a time eater that if you want to do other things in your day, you don't really have the time to go back and do that one again.
yeah.
So
You have a park one?
I have Park One. Mickey ear caps, they should go away.
Mickey ear
The
caps.
Mickey ears, like
The
the
original.
the Mickey Mouse hat.
Oh.
I think they're lame.
No one wears them.
No one wears them.
it's all about the headbands now.
Yeah.
It's the headbands,
Yeah.
and
They
you
put-
can't wear them outside the park.
No.
No.
I just and what are the chances someone bought one and then brought it back?
Well, at Disneyland. Very common. Disney World, not as much.
I just
Disneyland, because it's a culture thing.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that where you
Disney
have
World,
local
not as
people that
much.
come back, but I just like I don't know. They must make some money because Disney would have axed it if it was that horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
There's just so many
such
options.
a good first visit one for like kids to have,
Yeah.
but like grown adults, I don't see.
I won't wear one. I'm bald. I don't want a
You'd be-
bowl cut sunburn
Well,
on
it
the back of
goes-
my head.
That
Like,
would be
It goes to
bad.
the whole joke I always make every time I go on Soarin'. You know, they got the pre-show, and it's all like, you got to take those babies off, and it's this fat guy taking off his hat, and he's bald.
Yeah.
You know, he's just
He has
takes
a
off
bald
he's
spot.
got his
yeah.
bald spot,
Balding.
and then I just kind of make a joke and be like, "Oh, he's bald," and then my
It's
wife,
kinda like
and then my wife gives me the stare of like, "Stop embarrassing me."
oh, that's like running with my joke where I would just be like, "Oh, it's okay to laugh at bald people,
Right.
huh? I see how it goes
Yeah.
here." You know, I play into that, so that's funny. You have your joke,
Right.
and then we play off it the other way. Next time we go together, I'll just like, "Hey, what's wrong with bald people?"
Right.
And like
Yeah.
start a fight.
We totally need to
start a fight. It's like,
Absolutely.
"Who do you think you are?" You know, like.
We're gonna get on.
You're
all
that
the-
guy on Matterhorn Yodelers, I bet that makes fun of people, aren't you? And you're like, actually, I am. It's like,
Just be trendy on TikTok.
Matterhorn
Security
Yodeler
comes in,
podcast fights
"You're
at Soarin'.
we were just playing around.
we were trying to go viral.
I know, for the wrong reason.
Finding Nemo, the musical, is the best attraction at Animal Kingdom.
Whoa. No way. No, the Everest. Everest is better.
I think Everest is better.
It's just the better theme. I mean, it's a show. It's a really good show, so you'd have to compare it. I think it has more of a chance in
Against
comparing
Lion
other
King.
shows. I can't.
Which one's better, Lion King or Nemo?
Nemo.
Man, I like the Lion King show there.
That's
that was
a-
fun.
That's a good one. That's a good.
I'm not a big fan of Finding Nemo, and I'm not a big fan of Lion King, but the Lion King one is so dynamic where they're like moving around. It's a smaller theater, and like I think
I would say this. Finding Nemo as it stands today is not as good as Lion King. But original Finding Nemo, the musical, is better than current Lion King show. That would be my opinion. Even though the new Finding Nemo is just a shortened down version, they cut enough out that it does impact the quality of the attraction of the show itself. So that would be my opinion on it.
Okay. Okay, here's one for Disney World. Hollywood Studios is the best park out of Disney World and has the most potential.
Anything has more like most potential.
I don't think it's the best
It's
park.
hard to say because it depends on what you're looking at.
Yeah.
What's your goal? What you're trying to
What
do?
your goal is. Because, like, my wife, she loved that park. Like, she said that was one of the parks that she would spend an entire day at.
I think it has better. I think it has better food.
At Hollywood Studios has better food.
I think it has good. Like you have the brown derby,
no way.
and then
I think it has the worst food.
oh no,
Well,
They don't
you
have
want
they don't
high-end
they don't
food-
if high end
actually,
food,
Magic Kingdom has the worst food.
Magic Kingdom has the worst food.
But then Hollywood Studios is next
And
for
and
me.
I never cared for Animal Kingdom food. Epcot has the World Showcase.
the food court.
Yeah, it's the food court. And it's hard. I mean, I can't. But if you want, I don't know. There's good restaurants in there. There's the high end and there's the quick service stuff. You know,
I think with Hollywood Studios, when it comes to the food, I think it does really well on the high end, but not very good on the low end.
I thought it like their ice cream choices. Like there was an ice cream place off of Sunset that I would always go to.
Oh yeah,
that was
yeah,
unique
yeah, yeah.
and-
That I'm not necessarily
oh,
talking
so,
about.
like-
I'm talking about like quick service food.
oh, quick service.
That's pretty bad.
I think the best would
Because you got like Backlot Express, you got
oh the pizza floor.
Pizza
Oh, yeah.
Rizzo.
yeah.
You know, it's just
I would say that. Yeah, it's not great, but again, if you're getting that food, you get what you pay for, really.
right.
And so, like I say,
And I know they got the new barbecue place that's opening up. Probably by the time this episode comes
Oh,
out,
the Toy
it's probably
Story?
already opened. I know they're showing stuff on YouTube of
The
you
Toy
know,
Story.
the Toy Story barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't eaten at the newer stuff, but yeah.
there's a lot of potential for Hollywood Studios. I think it's just because
I
for
think
so long it was not the most popular.
I think they're
Half the things were broken or down or being refurbished.
I think it has the most potential of because there's things to fix.
Well, I think there's even the potential of growth because there's still a good section of the park that they haven't done anything
That's
with.
true.
They've got that whole former animation courtyard area
Yeah.
that they haven't done nothing with, where the old Little Mermaid show, Playhouse Disney or Disney Junior
The
is
launch
there.
bay.
The launch
Star
bay
Wars
slash
launch bay.
old animation building.
Yeah.
Like, that building is big and it's barely being used. So, like, that's a lot.
As opposed to
of
like Epcot,
space
where it's
there.
like
It's pretty
it's
tight.
where are you gonna grow? You can only
There's
fix
not
what's
much, yeah.
there. To,
There's a few spots where you might be able to expand an already existing pavilion.
Yeah.
To maybe put a small ride in there or another restaurant.
but it's pretty set.
But yeah, it's hard to say. Like,
And Animal Kingdom's not. I mean, it's not
You
the most
gotta deal
popular.
with the animals in
Yeah.
the savannas and their space because that's important. Than like guest experience.
I mean, they can tear down Rainforest Cafe. I mean, does that really need to be there?
So they can put in more parking.
Probably an expansion to Pandora.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably what it's gonna be because it's right next to Pandora.
Mhm.
Yeah. So do you think Hollywood Studios has the most potential?
I would say so.
I would say yes.
I would say that one would have the most potential. I mean,
I would say it's
hu-
the best.
It's hard to say because, Disney recently threw out, what's behind Big Thunder Mountain. There's a lot of potential that they could be throwing back on the backside of the rivers of America over there.
They should do what they did in Paris, where you're getting shot under the water and going and doing Thunder Mountain.
That was so fun.
Tom Sawyer.
That's so fun. Okay, this one made me chuckle. Jonas Brothers should replace Aerosmith at Rock and Roller Coaster.
that's got to be an old. That's got to be an old opinion because are they even still
yeah.
are they still performing together?
Yeah, they just research.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh,
song coming
they're
out.
pretty popular now.
Well, I know they've always been popular. I didn't know if they were still together or if they
Oh
were
yeah,
solo.
they're on tour. They're
okay.
doing like a Broadway thing right now.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Come on, Peter, get with the times.
Peter's like, I'm waiting for Spider-Man on Broadway.
I'm waiting for Rogers the musical. That's what
Which
I'm
is
waiting
coming.
for. Yeah.
to Disneyland. But okay, popcorn buckets. Are they a waste of money?
Absolutely, 100% waste
And-
of money.
I say
And-
90% of the stuff sold at Disney is a waste of money. It ends up on eBay that's overpriced.
And that the Figment bucket, the famous Figment bucket, is ugly. I agree. It's pretty ugly.
I never saw it actually, so I don't.
It's just a fat
Let me get
Figment.
you a picture of it.
It's just like Figment, kind of like slouching, so you just kind of have this like gut, like. Yeah. Here's my opinion on Figment, and this is actually relatively new because I was watching a video with one of my YouTubers, and they were talking about the new Figment meet and greet, and I think Figment is not a very good character. And
Meet and greet, or just not a good character in general.
He's
That's
just
kind of
not a good-
controversial. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's kind of a beloved character
and
from.
but the thing
Disney
is,
World.
I don't think it's Figment. Yeah, he doesn't look very.
My reaction as I look
Yeah,
at
I
it, it's
just
like,
showed
oh,
Japheth
gosh.
the Figment popcorn
Oh goodness,
bucket.
no,
Right.
no!
I think
I don't want that in my house.
No.
I think the fascination with Figment goes back to the Dreamfinder and missing the Dreamfinder.
There are two.
People don't miss Figment, they miss the Dreamfinder. The only reason why they like Figment is because he's from the time of Dreamfinder.
I think so.
And
He's the last
so-
remnants of it, and you're like, if we can keep him, we can get Dreamfinder maybe again.
Right. And so if and when they eventually get rid of or change the Imagination Pavilion attraction, they either need to bring back Dreamfinder or they just need to
They should go
Wipe
with
it.
that Jules Verne's kind of like steampunk, like they did kind of before with Dreamfinder.
That would
Something
be
different,
cool,
just
yeah.
a new theme, and it kind of just lives on.
because
like,
Dreamfinder was a fantastic character. He was entertaining, he was engaging. I mean,
Yeah, because
He was-
Figment's just kind of annoying.
he was the child,
Yeah.
and Dreamfinder was there to teach. You know, it's kind of like Doctor Who, where he's just like he's teaching the assistants.
right, his companions.
His companions, yeah. It's like, here, you guys
So-
don't know how this goes. Let me show you.
So yeah, that's my opinion. Figment is not really a beloved character. It's people wanting to hold on to Dreamfinder, not
I think they
Figment.
should just get rid of Figment overall.
Whoa, you just want to kill
Just
old
get rid of
Epcot.
him.
That's the only thing holding old Epcot, really.
That and Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth is old Epcot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I didn't care for it, so get rid of it. Let's think of something new and better. Okay. Phantasmic. This is someone else's opinion. So, Phantasmic is trash and they should get rid of it.
At Disney World? Maybe.
Well, so both.
I don't know. The one at Disney World was just painful to watch a crane boom like dragon move around with streamers for wings. It was just like,
It's true.
is this like a high school like parade
I saw
float
I did
item?
like a backstage tour of it and like
You're like, that's it?
there's no body. It's just the head and wings.
Well, that's what
it.
Disneyland's used to be like that too, and then they decided to invest money and get a cool looking dragon. So
Yeah.
I don't enjoy shows too much like that.
I'm just not a big Phantasmic person. I'd be totally fine if they got a new show
I think they need
at
it-
either parks.
It's been 30 years.
It's time to change it up.
Or at least do it like once like
Once every
do it for like, I don't know, Walt's birthday. They bring it out, but I know they can't do that because it's just
No.
not efficient
Logistics,
and
yeah.
space to do the whole thing and get everybody ready.
Yeah, the logistics behind that. I mean, I would not be opposed to them doing something new. I don't want to hold on to things and potentially lose out on something even
Like
better.
me with wishes.
Wishes.
I will
Right.
never. I was like, no, that was the best. Never growing up.
I love Wishes. That's another one. It was Wishes over Happily Ever After, but we haven't seen Happily Ever After. Have you seen it?
I mean, online.
Yeah.
I've seen Happily Ever
Yeah, I've seen it
After,
online, but-
and they just brought it back.
but I haven't experienced it in person, so I don't know the feels of that.
So what
one.
what are your feelings on like the projection shows now? Is it overdone?
I like the projection shows on Disneyland. It's a Small World.
Okay.
That's fun.
That's
because
really
it's a big canvas
Yeah.
that you can do a lot of fun things with. So that's
But on Main Street, I don't care for it. And the castle is just like, well, Disney World. When I was there, they did like a full-on projection show before the fireworks show. It was cool because they did like a Buzz Lightyear scene where like the castle takes off, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But if they're just like projecting just random images on it, I don't really care for it.
It seems like they're focusing more on that than fireworks.
well, because it's cheaper.
Yeah, and I get it, but
And
it's
you're dealing with less problems with locals in the area, especially for Disneyland. How like Disneyland only does fireworks on the weekend.
If you're living next to Disneyland, you know what you're getting yourself
it's like
into.
people that move next to an Air Force Base. Like, these jets are loud. I don't get this. Why are they so loud?
Yeah.
You're like, they're not stealth at all.
I see the comments on my neighborhood app because we live by
An Air Force Base.
an Air Force base, and it's just like, there was a sonic boom. They're
Oh,
not allowed to
gosh.
do that. And it's just like, okay, calm down.
Permission to fly by the tower. Permission denied. It's like someone's been watching Top Gun lately.
Right.
Are we ready to move on to movies?
I've got a couple more.
All right, let's shoot them off.
Yeah. So this is my personal opinion. Haunted Mansion is pretty boring.
I can see how it can be boring. I can see it.
It's a sleep ride for me.
It's dark and cozy.
Yeah.
So is that your big attraction at Disneyland you would get rid of?
Yeah.
Would be Haunted Mansion?
Wow, bulldoze, baby, bulldoze.
What's your big attraction that you would get rid of at Disneyland?
Country Bear. Oh, no, at Disney World, it's Country Bear.
Country Bear.
But
okay.
The one that I
Disneyland.
defended the one time.
Well, I'm talking like big, like major attraction that you would get rid of. Because I would like, yeah, Country Bear is a classic attraction, but I don't consider it a big attraction.
I would, and this goes down to like our first like recording that we did, but we never released it.
Right.
I would shut down the Matterhorn, keep the Matterhorn there, but use it as a cue for a launch like Snow White ride, where the
mountain is the mine.
Yeah. Where you're the queue and then you get launched over between where the old boat ride was
Right.
and between Small World. That's kind of like my controversial, like if I was going to do something huge, hence like our name Matterhorn Yodelers, I'm just like, yeah, get rid of the ride.
Get rid of the Matterhorn.
I wasn't a fan of the name. I had another one.
It's true. Mine is the Jungle Cruise.
It's so much real estate.
It's so much real
Yeah.
estate. And
It's not that great. The jokes aren't funny anymore.
I've always enjoyed
it
them.
depends. Like it's very dependent on your skippers. Some skippers are really good and others are not so good. Some skippers can tell the same joke in a way that makes them fresh and new. But I just feel like I'm never satisfied after riding the Jungle Cruise ever. Yeah, I don't ever
I like
feel...
the queue. I like it gets me in the mood like I am
Sure.
going on a safari. That's getting rid of it. I'm like, oh, what are we gonna do? Because there's only so much Adventureland.
How about make another Indiana Jones attraction?
Well, yeah, we've discussed this
know,
before.
right.
Yeah, with the Indiana Jones roller coaster
Right.
intertwined, and you have to go. Well, you could keep.
Well, someone says their opinion was to replace the Indiana Jones attraction at Disneyland and do a live action Jungle Book theme.
what? No,
What?
I thought that was so funny.
that's controversial, and also I do not agree with that.
I saw that. I was like, oh, I have to say this
That's-
one. This one's too
That
good.
makes me angry inside. I have murder rage in me right now. Can I get out of jail for crime of passion?
I thought that was funny. Okay, so here's another one of mine is Monsters Laugh Floor is the best attraction at Magic Kingdom.
I was gonna say for Tomorrowland.
I still think it's the best attraction at Magic Kingdom.
Let's think of a better ride.
But for Tomorrowland, for sure.
I think, and I was thinking to put that on there. It was like, it's better than Space Mountain.
I
agree.
Honestly, and this might be a controversial opinion, I think Mickey's PhilharMagic is a better show.
Bah.
Now I'm torn. Tomorrow, with Mike's Laugh Floor, I go into it with like low expectations and I come out happy.
Sure.
And it's fun because I've seen my jokes that I put on there, and it's fun that you can interact with it.
Yeah.
PhilharMagic, there's like this this crowd feeling, like you're like overly aggressive to get a seat there. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm in survival mode. Like you see those crowds.
There was a fight there, so
You seen those crowds, like those pools in China where they're like the wave pool and they're all filled with people. I feel like I'm like jockeying for position there, and I get this anxiety. So my experience there, it's different.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go with Mike on this one, but I enjoy PhilharMagic.
Yeah, that one just gives me more of the warm fuzzies.
It's Disney.
I do not like the version at California Adventure, even though it's literally the same exact show, just in a different theater. But the theater honestly makes the show, and the theater at Disney World is the best when it comes for that show, and it still holds up.
yeah, I don't like PhilharMagic. If they could get rid
So if
of
you don't
it.
like it, then I can see why Mike's better.
Like, I'll go on it just to like sit down, but
You think it's better than Thunder? I think the Thunder's really good at Magic Kingdom.
it's good. But
Like when you went to Magic Kingdom every time, did you go to Mike every single time?
every single time,
Wow.
every single time
rarely.
I did that attraction, and when I went back to Disney World for one day, we went to Magic Kingdom. That was the first thing we did.
Wow. Okay.
Like, I'm a die-hard fan.
It's
of
kind of the
Monster
way.
Laugh
It's kind of
Floor.
like how I feel with Mater's Junkyard Jamboree.
Ooh, that one's good.
I think
that's like a top 5.
That's my favorite
No, I'd
attraction
say it's a
in
top
California
3 in
Adventure.
California for me.
Because it's like
It's a dark horse.
it's a low weight, and you're always smiling riding
Yeah,
that
it's
ride.
fun.
It's a fun ride, and there's hardly a wait for it.
Yeah, your cost to benefit ratio is
Mm-hmm.
way in your favor, as opposed to like the big attractions where you're like,
I waited an hour for a 3-minute experience.
The Incredible Coaster moves quickly, and
It
that
does.
one,
That one's fun.
It does.
like the Tower of Terror one or the Guardians of the Galaxy, you just don't know what kind of experience. The queue really can make or break your experience before riding it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to movies.
Here, I want to start with this. It's not a movie, but it is with
Yeah.
characters. Pluto should not be in the Fab Five, but Daisy should be in it instead. And I think the cartoons now signify that more.
I would agree.
Yeah.
In that sense, because Daisy's more of a character.
Everyone grew to
Yeah.
love Daisy because the Daisy in the park became sassy.
Ooh, we love that sass.
And everyone loves the sassy Daisy.
Like everyone saw that video where Daisy's like walking out and then she does like the quick
The
turnaround before
quick
she leaves.
turn,
And that
yeah.
video went viral and I was like, oh, I love Daisy. You go, girl.
Yeah.
It was funny because we were at our parents' house, and like my kids were pointing at my parents have these like the character marionettes, so
Yeah.
Mickey, Minnie,
Mm-hmm.
Goofy, and Donald, and my oldest was all like, "Where's Daisy?"
It's true. I mean,
Well, and what? Toontown just opened up, and they're going to have Pete,
Pete.
as a meet and greet and Clarabelle.
whoa, going old school there. That's fun.
And I'm like, yeah.
They've
I
really
love
they
it.
brought Pete back, but I don't think he's a Fat Five.
No,
No.
I
He's with Pluto, I would say.
Pluto got a lot of attention in the early cartoons.
because his original cartoons are really good.
Yeah.
I would say those were top tier animated cartoons at that time.
But Daisy definitely kicked him out of the Fab
With
Five.
with
so.
the recent
With the recent ones.
phase, the what people call it, the Ren and Stimpy Mickey.
They are, and I still like the episode where Mickey and Minnie are having a fight, and Donald Days are like, "Oh, that's cute. Watch this, bicker, fight." You know,
Well, a lot of people also point to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway on the treatment of Pluto that Minnie just kicks Pluto and stuffs him in a trunk.
What?
Oh yeah, that's the pre-show.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the pre-show. Minnie kicks Pluto, and he flies into the truck of their car.
Sorry, Pluto.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not for like kicking him into a trunk. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like just put Daisy
That's
in
how
there
they're
now.
treating Pluto nowadays. So
Yeah. Okay. Are we good for movies?
Oh, I've got so many for movies.
Okay. All right. For me, I think Frozen's only good because of the music. The storyline, not good.
I would say Frozen 2 is better than Frozen 1.
Whoa, that one's huge. You just dropped right there.
Yeah, I would say Frozen 2 is
I
better
think
than
the
Frozen 1.
story's probably better.
The story's
in two.
better in 2.
I enjoy the music better.
The music is better in 1.
Mm-mm.
The music is catchier in 1.
Right.
The music may be better in 2.
Correct. Because I
Um,
love, Kristoff's song.
Oh, that one's good.
I love the Weezer cover on that one.
Yeah,
that
I
was
knew you would.
good.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I just feel like all the songs themselves are more enjoyable to listen to on their own. I feel like maybe I just got burnt out of the first Frozen with how viral it went.
Yeah.
And I may have a controversial opinion on this one. Elsa's borderline villain. If you don't have
Totally.
Oh,
if you don't
yeah.
have Hans flip, Elsa's the bad guy.
And she originally was going to be the villain.
But when Hans goes, I don't love you. I want to be king of Arendelle. That's that's the moment where oh, Elsa's not the bad guy. And we all knew when you're watching it, Elsa's not the bad person.
But
she just
Elsa
misunderstood.
didn't know about Hans.
No.
Well, also, honestly, because I've even seen the behind the scenes things, but they don't say this. But I feel like that plot twist was thrown in way later in development of the.
They
of the
probably saw us
movie.
all Elsa's not good. It's
Right.
like when they had Woody as
And-
the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because if you look at what Han's actions are at the first half of the movie, like when Anna leaves, he doesn't have this authoritarian
No, he's giving blankets.
Oh, no, here, give him the blankets. Or the worst guy is the guy from Weaselton,
Yeah.
Right? He's
is
all
a
you're
villain.
trading our guards, oh, we get it.
right. Like he doesn't act like a villain, and all of a sudden it's like there was no point for his transformation. It was just oh, plot twist. He's actually a bad guy.
And it all adds up where he's he's the 13th in line. He gets treated like garbage. This is his it's coup d'etat. He seized his moment with power, and he almost got away with it. He really was that close to becoming.
Oh, he absolutely was.
And he would have won it
because it wasn't built up in a way that we could see that it was going to happen.
blindside.
And honestly, that's the problem with the new generation of Disney animated movies. There's no good villains. There's no strong villains.
That's a huge one. I was thinking that with Mother Gothel. I was all she's not a horrible kidnapper. She raised the kid. She's horribly psychologically,
But she did
could have
raise the kid.
She did raise the kid and clothed and fed her.
Oh,
She could have really
I saw
put her
this-
in a dungeon.
Yeah.
I saw
a
this-
tower is no different, but
I saw this one thing where that kind of changed my aspect of her. It said Mother Gothel would have gotten away with it if she just told Rapunzel her birthday was on a different day.
really, yeah. Yeah.
Because she wouldn't know. She wouldn't care. She'd oh, yeah, there's these floating lanterns on a random day.
It's Lantern Day. That's all.
Right. It's not
Can I go see it?
special
Yeah,
to
sure.
me.
Let's go out together, guys.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I've got so many.
Oh, go for it.
Tarzan was the worst soundtrack ever.
You hate Phil
I
Collins.
hate
You
Phil
just hate
Collins.
Phil Collins.
And I read this, somebody goes, Phil Collins, the whole movie singing, it's like I'm in a minivan in the 90s driving to Oklahoma. Shoot me, please. And I was all snapping. Oh, yeah, you're driving here. No, I can't stand
Well,
it.
what I can understand that aspect because I think we may have talked about this where it's with Phil Collins, when Phil Collins is singing, it takes away from the other characters because none of the other characters are singing. It's just You're listening to Phil Collins sing to
he's,
what's
he's
happening.
watching like a snow globe of the movie, and
Right.
he's just singing to the snow globe.
Right, exactly. So like it doesn't mean the music doesn't mean as much. I mean, granted, there's songs that I enjoy.
I like Phil Collins'
But-
songs.
Oh gosh. No.
In terms of storytelling, it didn't add to the story in the sense of like we needed more character driven songs, and with Phil Collins singing almost every song, it took
that's
away
what kills
from
me. It's
that.
like, oh, here we go. Phil Collins singing again.
I know. Can I show? Yeah. Okay, here's one that was very interesting. Okay, so there's this guy online who put this theory out that like Scar ate Mufasa. And he says that because he's like, what happened to Mufasa's body?
Do lions eat other lions?
Apparently lions, and he looked it up, and he's like, do hyenas or eat lions? And they don't. And apparently lions eat other lions.
Maybe the hyenas do eat them because they were going to eat the cub, weren't they? Like that was like when they went to the elephant graveyard.
Oh, that's true.
They said that they were gonna eat him.
And so that's kind of what I'm thinking. In this
In this scenario. Yeah.
scenario.
Okay. But yeah, his whole thing was
With
like,
Scar eating.
because there's a scene where Scar's in his cave and he's holding an animal's
I ate
skull.
his liver with some fava beans. Get some Hannibal Lecter action
Right.
right
And I was
there.
like, well, that's controversial, but yeah.
I've never thought of it that way.
I was like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's got to be some leftovers of.
Well, I mean, it's the
the
circle of life.
You turn it into
He
grass,
turns in the grass, and the antelopes eat the grass.
and then we eat the antelopes, right?
That's it.
Okay, someone says Brave is the most slept on Disney princess movie.
It's the most what?
Slept on.
Slept on.
Like overrated or
Underrated.
underrated.
Underrated. I would say definitely underrated.
It is an underrated one. I have one that's probably even more underrated.
What's that?
Princess and the Frog.
Oh, I love that movie.
I think it's so, as I've gotten older, like I watched it older, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh, this movie it just gets better and better each time.
good.
Brave's gotten better too.
But do you think Princess and the Frog is better
Music's
than
better.
Tangle?
The music is, I
That's,
come back to me on
that's-
that one because I've always been a huge Tangled fan, but I've watched it so much lately. Like my daughter loves Tangled, and I've got I've gotten burned out on it, so I'd have to like analyze it. We'll probably talk about that in like
A different...
the what are they called, the Renaissance or
Yeah.
the second.
Well, no, that's not Renaissance. I forgot what era that is. That
What's
era
the new
is.
era for that area for Disney animation?
I forgot what it's called.
But I yeah, it's tough because Rapunzel used to be like my number one, overall.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think Princess and the Frog is, for me, it was on my list of like, I think it's better than
I mean,
Frozen.
That was
I agree.
That was Disney's final push to do hand-drawn animation,
So good.
and like they did a fantastic job. But I
And it
think
makes you kind of miss it too.
Yeah.
but they learned it's financially not.
Yeah.
They can't do hand-drawn animation anymore because it costs so much money. And I think that's why that movie doesn't get as much attention, because it technically didn't profit that much because of the cost of production. Even though it might have done okay box office and sales of merchandise and things like that, but because of the cost of production, it's not looked on by Disney as like a high valued property.
Yeah. For me, it's just the music is so good.
It's solid. The characters are good too.
Like, I'm trying to think, is there a song I just don't like on there? Like you mentioned some of the songs, just think about them and you get like goosebumps thinking about it. I was like, oh, that's good. So, and you don't hear the praise for it.
No.
Gonna take it down. Gonna take it down. Gonna take it all the way down. I know where I'm going, and I'm going with you. Taking you all the way.
All right, here's another one. Disney should remake Song of the South and make it less racist.
I mean, if you're taking out the live action portions, if that's what your goal is, just to take Uncle Remus out, I mean, that's the only way to make it
the controversial
quote unquote
it's,
less racist. It's just
it's
make it a cartoon.
yeah, it's the caricature of post Civil War,
Right.
antebellum, of race, and that's what's basically locked it in the vault, and it'll never be seen for that, But at the point, if you make a story with just the cartoons, you're going to be fine. I mean, you're going to have to change the voices. They're not going to talk a certain way.
They're not going to have that southern accent.
Yeah, you're not going to have like the Dumbo crows, talking. It's
The racist crows.
yeah. It's going to be different.
I think it's something that will never happen until like 50 years or something like that away.
The culture's got to change before they decide to do something like that.
Yeah.
So if it will change, who knows? Time will tell.
Yeah.
20 years, the Matterhorn yodelers will be talking about it.
Back in the day.
Right.
All right, do you have one, Jason?
I have one. Lion King is overrated and Pocahontas is better.
I agree. I've never been a fan of Lion
never
King.
but again,
that was the opinion of the Disney company during production. Like they said, yeah, we got this movie Lion King coming out. It's a
placeholder between.
But Pocahontas, you're going to be blown away with Pocahontas, which I think artistically, Pocahontas is one of the most beautiful
I think
Disney
it's a
films.
top 5. I mean, it's up there with Sleeping Beauty.
In terms of
for beauty?
in terms of
For
art,
Sleeping Beauty and the art and the beauty of what you're watching.
Yeah.
because you look at the original, they've added things to Lion King now to make it a little bit more appealing. Like there
It
used to
seems
be
flat sometimes.
there was nothing in the background. Literally, it was just like ground and sky. Like there was no mountains or trees or anything in the background. They've recently added that because it looks so bad. It's true.
We made some extra money on this. Let's throw some background.
Yeah.
Correct. And then
I
all
wish
of
they
a
did that
sudden-
with Beauty and the Beast. Like if you watch as Belle goes through the town, some of the characters just do the same 2 movements. It's funny. You'll just
I've
see
never noticed that.
the
Oh, yeah.
Gaston, I'll be like Gaston, the 3 twins.
Yeah.
They just do this swaying thing. It's just creepy. Because when you watch a movie over and over
You
as a
pay
parent,
attention to
you're
that
like,
stuff.
what am I gonna? What character? What thing am I gonna hyper focus on
Yeah.
and see? How ridiculous this is. And I've noticed that with Beauty and the Beast that they're like, yeah, we don't have enough time for this.
Well,
This character's only going to do
it's
3
a
movements back
nightmare
and
to
forth.
animate, individual
Multiple
actions
characters,
for
yeah.
all the townspeople in the same scene, in the same shot. Like that's a nightmare.
someone
to
may or
direct.
may not notice.
I get it, but it was one of those things
Yeah.
as you're watching this, am I frozen in time? Like, what is going on? Did my Disney Plus break on this portion of the film?
Right.
So back to Pocahontas. Someone says the song "Savages" is one of the greatest songs of all times, and they had some pretty convincing arguments.
It brings up the difference between our perceptions of one another.
Yeah, and that was
how
one of
we're
the
all-
biggest
we
ones.
think we're very ethnocentric about ourselves, and we're right. Our way is the only way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it tackles both sides of the point of view.
Well, it even points out the fact that despite the fact that we think each other's wrong, we're a lot more similar than we are different.
Yeah.
It had a great message.
Oh, it did.
And then you watch
Absolutely.
Lion King, and it's all what is the message?
I
Run away
just
from your
can't
problems,
wait to
and then
be
wait for your
king.
girlfriend to come and drag you back and fight off the guy that's completely destroyed your father's homeland.
Right.
And then you're like, no, I'm king. I mean, it's not the greatest
It's
message.
Hamlet.
And like I said, it's Hamlet.
It's
and that,
Hamlet. Hamlet's not necessarily the greatest of storylines.
It's I want to grow up to be like Simba and run away and become a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, movie up. The only reason why it's good is because of the intro.
I agree on that one. I'm not a big fan of Up, and I think the intro is the best aspect of it for me.
I think
I
my
can
wife would
I can
agree.
understand the point of view of it. I do enjoy the movie up, but I can understand the ending's kind of meh.
I don't like the kid. And I think I
Russell?
said that. Yeah, I don't like Russell.
I like Doug. Doug is
Doug
fun.
is fun.
Doug is a great character. I think honestly, Doug is the character that brings that movie
together.
He keeps it going.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like
Because he steals the show every time he's in the scene. He's kind of like the genie.
I was hoping you weren't going to say Olaf.
No,
Because I had mentioned that before. Olaf is the Jar Jar Binks of Frozen.
right.
I didn't get that. Someone wrote that on.
I would say Olaf is far more enjoyable in Frozen 1 than he is in Frozen 2.
I like him in Frozen 2 more than I like him in Frozen 1.
I liked him better in Frozen.
I think
Frozen 1, he put me off so much. I really didn't like the movie.
You didn't like Frozen because of Olaf.
No.
Yeah. I think I've only seen Frozen 2 once, so.
Olaf's grown on me after I've watched it maybe 100 times.
I think Frozen 2, Olaf's best part was like his song.
Yeah, with Gail.
Yes.
Or Samantha.
Oh,
Samantha? Yeah, that was great. That was his highlight. Like, best part of the movie was that part. Like, yeah, I liked his like recap, but like he was always kind of annoying in the rest of it because like he was enjoyable in the first one because like it was new. Like, oh, this is new to me. But like by the second one, he's all like, I'm a know-it-all. Did you know water swim through 4 different animals and that you're drinking? It's like, okay.
Now, think about Frozen 2. I think about the characters are all over the place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're neurotic in their own little way, and they just never come together.
I could see that.
And I think that may be one of the things that may bother people about Frozen 2.
Sure.
At least with Frozen 1, there's like a flow to the story and where everyone's got to be and go.
Yeah. All right. You have any more?
I don't think Gaston's he's not like an evil bad guy.
He's like most men in the world today.
He's just, yeah, he is not a great guy. He's
No.
egotistical, narcissist, and he's manipulative.
I mean,
but like he reacts how he should react in a small town
and see a beast.
and see a beast.
You know,
yeah,
and
when you have the dad coming crazy, what does he want to do? Like he's like, yeah, put him away. Like,
but no. But that's not why he wants to put him away.
No, but that's the manipulative part, and that's what makes him a bad guy. But if he never did that, would he really be a bad guy?
Yes, because so at the final scene, he's a villain because when the beast is like, could have killed him, and he's like, no, I'm walking away. And he goes in for that final kill.
But that's like with
And he
fighting.
falls.
That's,
he's also a hunter.
He's a hunter, so it's like it's nature.
So
it's kill or be killed.
To him, the beast is just another animal, another trophy on his wall. That's all the beast was to him.
And there's those who like to fight with honor.
But like the beast showed
and he doesn't fight.
kindness to him, and he.
Sure, and I'm sure a
disregarded
deer
that.
would show kindness to him as well.
But there was something,
I don't think a deer would go near him.
and just, that's, I mean, he's like a one-track minded person. He gets his results, and
I like that. He's a one-track mind person. Like when he wants something, he's gonna do everything in his power to do that one thing. And the whole movie, he's driven by one thing, and that is to get married to Belle. And so every action that he makes contributes to that goal. So he's very focused in his goals.
But I don't think he's evil.
In terms of the evilness, I don't think he's on
evilness scale with all the other villains.
Which I think we need to do that. We need to have like evilness scale. And
That's what I really wanted to do when we were doing our bad guy
or like
episode.
Your book one or whatever.
Yeah, that was kind of the direction I wanted, but it's always bothered me. It's like I watch Gaston, I'm like, and not that I like, he's not admirable, but there's just things we're going like, is he just a human in this instance? Mm-hmm. And he's just like doing things that, oh yeah, we don't like that, like, yeah, I'll get your dad out if you marry me. It's like, yeah, it's not a great way to marry someone, but you look at the time, and it's not always,
still not right.
Yeah,
Belle's not necessarily the most appealing character in that movie.
The Stockholm Syndrome.
Well, Stockholm Syndrome. She's also kind of like a jerk to the rest of the town.
She's pretentious. I'm more than this provincial life.
Right.
And she's singing this, and like she's a peculiar girl.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, yeah, it's like I think both Belle and Gaston do not come off well.
And Beast is a bad guy until controls his anger, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. That's why I'm all like,
We'll have to deep dive on that one.
We'll have a deep dive.
that's
on
why I was
Beauty
all like,
and the
it's not the
Beast.
most like controversial, but it's more of like, I don't think he's no Frollo like.
No,
Frollo's pretty
Gaston is no Frollo. I can agree to that.
Frollo's pretty bad.
We have to get a spectrum of how evil and bad like all
Like,
our characters
we would
are.
need it. We would need to like gauge it on like what's their goal, what are their actions, things like
Yeah.
that. Episode
Okay.
for a future day.
Yeah. Any more you have or?
I like Netflix better than Disney Plus.
It cycles. So like
For
It
me-
depends. Netflix has those like good months, and then they also have like bad months.
I find myself as an adult going to Netflix first before Disney Plus
I agree with that.
because I know on Wednesday I'll get the one new show
Yeah.
and that's it. One show for a whole week. And I've been trying to make a more of a push to expand and stuff. Some of their international stuff they've come out. If it's Latin American, it's dealing with a school where it's musical and somebody's misunderstood and there's this like big guy that's like, no, it's reggaeton, you know. It's just like it's the same story, and I'm like, okay, so
No, the content needs to be better on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's relying too much on the kids.
And like you thought Netflix was gonna sink when like everyone pulled their content, and it's like actually no, they've stepped up, and
they just added more trashy
but
stuff.
it's trashier stuff. They added more reality.
Yeah, they
that
added
was
more
huge.
reality.
But and they brought in better international stuff, and I think that's where Disney's.
I think Disney needs to add more park stuff.
Ooh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want more park content. Like I want more behind the scenes stuff. I want
Yes.
more.
What if they did like a great race?
Yeah,
in the
dude,
park.
Oh,
in the
that would
park.
be
That would be
awesome.
great. They do like they have like this Disney Channel one that they do. It's not good at all. Like it's definitely geared towards like we are specifically promoting this. It's not. It doesn't have the same like vibe that what we would want like from an Amazing Race type adventure.
But no, like Amazing Race, but all the Disney parks in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I can hear the guy from Amazing Race voicing it, you know, like we're here in Tokyo Disney as we circumnavigate the world, and like
No, I agree. Disney Plus needs to rethink how their current content and do better.
like I will never get rid of Disney Plus.
No,
my daughter,
never.
I just can't with it. If you have kids,
You have
you have to
it's-
have it. You have to. But when's the point? Like, okay, so my daughter's 10 years from now, are old enough. Do I keep Disney Plus?
Well,
There's a drop off at like 13 with content, and like, I don't know.
well, it's just like once Mandalorian leaves, what's
That's
good
the
left?
crucial. I mean, yeah,
You got some Marvel, but that's not gonna last forever.
I'm kind of curious what's going to happen moving forward, and with Disney making huge cuts.
They're making a lot of changes right now, and I think we're gonna see a lot of experimentation right now.
Yeah.
And that may work out.
And I hope so. Like I hope they do some.
Throw out the playbook that was done before. It's just not,
It's not good. I hate the fake content that's on there.
you know,
The
yeah.
extra sugary stuff. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
So-
So I just throw another. It may not be popular, and I know we're a Disney podcast, but it's just like, I don't know if it's won the stream wars, but I think it needs to step up its game. I think it'll
Yeah.
survive the streaming wars.
Yeah.
It's definitely
It's
one
got
of the ones
enough
that
content
will
to survive.
Kids survive. Kids keep
Yep.
studios.
You've
in
got the
line.
classics.
Yeah. Kids
So,
watch it.
yeah.
I will always have Disney Plus.
It's
on
always
every
going to
day.
be the home of Marvel and Star Wars, and so like there's going to be an audience.
There's a foundation
regardless.
there, but
It needs more. Agreed.
so that's all. That's it. I'm done with all my opinions.
You got any more, Peter?
I think I'm good.
All right.
I think I'm good.
Well, those
I
are.
mean, I could sit here and
You're
grind
right.
some things, but no, I think this is good.
So those are some of our controversial opinions. Some controversial opinions online that we've heard.
I've got an opinion for. I got a question.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
do you think old Epcot is better than Disneyland?
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, Disneyland is definitely superior to old.
Okay.
Epcot.
Do you think old Epcot is better than any version of a park or a different era of a park
Epcot,
in
Disney World.
in Disney World? Do you think that's the pinnacle of park
I would say.
Imagineering?
I would say late 80s, early 90s is prime Epcot right there.
Okay.
Hey, I got one for you. Do you
Oh,
think
boy.
old? Do you think old Epcot?
Goodness, I mean, my old Epcot's being
Do you
attacked
think
here.
old Epcot is better than a grilled cheese sandwich?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. I hate grilled cheese sandwiches.
Is it better than the tacos you used to make with extra taco powder?
Extra greasy.
Okay.
Better than that.
All right, all right,
Better
We've
we're
gone too
done.
far
We're
now.
done. All right.
We're not done with this Epcot train. They know we have another Epcot episode planned, so they're making fun of me because I suggested it. It's like, let's go back to old Epcot.
All right. Let us know if you have any controversial opinions about the Disney industry, parks, movies. Let us know in our comments down. You can comment on our Facebook page or Instagram. You can email us at matterhornyodlers@gmail.com. You can Twitter us. And yeah, we love to hear from you. And with that being said, have a magical day.